Good evening. This
Max,
is
what are we
Max
playing?
with Play the Hits, Super Mario 64 2.
Yes, that's right.
Basically.
Pretty much.
You're
Yeah.
damn right.
That is not inaccurate.
Oh my god. All right. And this is me streaming. Well, I mean, you're basically streaming, but I'm playing with the Elgato for the first time because I have a computer and the hardware to do it now.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, the quality is pretty much lossless. So your computer's doing a great job of it.
All right.
Like
Good,
it
good.
is buttery smooth, full resolution. Yeah.
Yeah, we did play with the Elgato a little bit on Addie's laptop a while back.
Yeah.
And that worked okay, but I wasn't really at the helm like testing things out. Like I thought there'd be like a little bit of a delay in what I was gonna do about that, and there isn't. You know, it's great. So got the Switch close by. It's working pretty well. So
Yeah, dude, welcome to the 21st century as far as your computer goes. This is great.
So Mario Odyssey. I can't believe this came out over 3 years ago at this point.
That doesn't feel real because I mean,
it doesn't.
It still is the most modern Mario game, and I don't know if I've shared this with you before. This is absolutely my favorite 3D Mario.
Mine too. Like it definitely
it dethroned 64 for me.
Yeah, 64 was always my favorite, and then Galaxy was fantastic, you know, in its own right. But this is like as great as Galaxy is, as much as I love both of those games, this easily is just beats it.
Yeah.
Because like Mario's never been as mobile as he is in this game. Like it's crazy what you can do with them.
Boiled down like Mario extract. You know, it is pure Mario goodness.
Yeah. And I think the director of this game, I can't remember his name now, but he directed Galaxy, and he really wanted like more story elements.
Yeah.
And so he kind of got his way a little bit in Galaxy, but then Galaxy 2, Miyamoto kind of pushed back, and he's like, no, it's all about the gameplay, you know?
I heard that, yeah. Miyamoto is a genius, no doubt, but he's very set in his ways.
He's a little old-fashioned, yeah, for sure. Which, I mean, of course, all this stuff, Zelda, we wouldn't have in its current form if it wasn't for him.
Oh,
but
yeah, no.
You also gotta update it a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
This game definitely is better for having a bit more story.
I think it totes the line very well. I mean, there is enough set up to get you engaged with like what you're doing and why you're doing it, but at the same time, the gameplay itself is definitely the star of the show.
Yeah,
like that makes me just want to fucking replay it myself again now.
it is just fantastic to move around.
It is,
and I've done it with the nunchucks, the Joy-Cons, and that works pretty well too. But for me, it's just the size of the buttons.
Yeah, Pro Controller is absolutely the best thing Nintendo's ever made.
Oh my god, it's fantastic, and it doesn't crap out after 8 hours like the PlayStation controller.
No, though I hear the PS5 fixes that. Someday in the distant future when we can actually get the PS5.
I'm hearing people say that I think most people expected the graphics and everything to be like, oh yeah, this is next gen. But I think people are pleasantly surprised about the controller. That it's less gimmicky and more immersive.
Right, you remove that like lame light bar. It's amazing how much better a controller can be.
Right. I wonder with VR, I don't know if VR is working out of the box on PS5.
I don't know.
How that works with the light bar. Or do you just need the Move controllers? I don't know.
That's a good question. So wait, the PS4 VR headset is compatible with the PS5?
It's supposed to be.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice to know that wasn't a wasted investment on my end. Because I'm going to be honest, like I love that thing, but Sony just hasn't done shit with it.
They haven't done too. I feel like the games, they haven't supported it as much as like, their first party studio stuff, but they've supported it fairly well. I feel like they're still making games for it, although we'll see now. But
right,
and it's also, I think it's the most prevalent. Oh, that's wonderful!
Yes.
I love it. Ugh.
Now you can do all the Cappy tricks, right? Yeah.
Now we can. Yeah, we're pretty much good now. They just unlock everything. I was going to say
the nice thing about replaying this game is that you can really it's like Nintendo wanted you to abuse the system a little bit. Like,
yeah,
you can access things that are really only supposed to be accessible with like power-ups.
Whoa!
You suck.
I already died. Oh no, how many? I was about to say, I have just enough coins to not get a game over right away.
That's awesome. But no, like, when you know how to, like, really spam Cappy, like, you can get to some pretty impossible places.
Oh, and I love that once you do that and get to places that are out of bounds, and it's just like, haha, fuck you, Nintendo. They're like, here's some coins. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, right? Like, here's your reward for breaking that game.
They thought of this.
Right? What a perfect game.
Yeah, it was definitely a toss-up for me as far as, like, between this and Breath of the Wild for 2017, what was my favorite game on the Switch. It was hard. They're so different.
That those came out the same year, yeah.
It's great. Like, honestly, thinking about it, it's like, oh, this game's over 3 years old. I feel absolutely decrepit. Like,
yeah,
seriously?
Right. I feel like this just came out, yeah. And, you know, for me, that was more of an easy call, because, you know, whereas Breath of the Wild is a phenomenal game, not my favorite Zelda game. This is probably my favorite Mario game.
Yeah.
My favorite Mario game, 3D, definitely. Not 100% sure if it quite beats Super Mario World, but at the very least, it ties it.
Yeah. It's hard to compare, but it's just what is my favorite, because Super Mario World was also
timeless,
a perfect game at the time. Yeah,
no, I think this will end up being timeless, too. I can see 20 years from now this still being a really fun game to play.
Oh, yeah.
I love how Mario just drops acid and enters the frog. You're like,
just these freaking pictures from, like, Encyclopedia Britannica or something.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Mario's just, like, very aware of his mortality.
Yeah, right? Like, this is... How could Cappy do this to someone? This is, like, worse than slipping a roofie or something.
Yeah, right.
It's just, like, this is how we say hello in my fucked up culture.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like,
you are one with a Cappy now.
Yeah, like, if they can just all do this all the time, where's like the individuality and kind of calls into question the soul of these freaking apps.
Who's to stop them from taking over the country?
I might be thinking too much into it, but
have you noticed that Putin's been wearing that red hat lately? I mean,
wait, what? Really? What?
No. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
For some reason, I immediately just thought of the MAGA hat.
Oh, God, yeah.
Reason. Also, I cannot...
Yeah, it was kind of a bold gambit on Nintendo's part, introducing the main gameplay mechanic being a red hat.
Oh, there we go. I could not
after Trump
do
was
that.
elected.
Okay, I think they wouldn't let me do it until I got up here or something. That's a little weird.
Well, yeah, you gotta open the treasure chest.
Yeah.
Can you open the chest with the frog?
I don't think so.
You need Cappy.
Give me that.
And
the camera. After playing, what do you call it, for so long. Ow.
Yeah, well, no. You know, as far as, like, Mario's movement goes, it's kind of crazy that they took as many years as they did to think of something like Cappy. Like, so something that just gave him, like, kind of a mobile platform to jump on. Because, like, let me think. In Mario 64, you could punch and kick. In Sunshine, you had Flood, which had a variety of uses, but, you know, it only had, like, one use at a time. You had to get, like, the different attachments. This just completely enhances Mario's ability to platform. And Galaxy kind of did that with the spin move, but even then, that was pretty limited. Like, you couldn't basically, like, use the spin move to jump halfway across the environment.
No, it was
mobile,
kind of broken, but it was very mobile. And also... Okay, I'm just going to get a frog. Let's get a frog.
Where's my goddamn frog?
Where's my froggies?
There he is. Okay. You only get three frogs, and after that, you fucking done. I also love that if you shake the control, it jumps like 20 feet into the air instead of 15.
Right.
Well done. But yeah, like looking back at Mario 64 on this channel, part of the issues that we had with it was that I was playing the Wii U port, which I now know suffers from tremendous like control lag. which is part of the reason that I wasn't having as good of a time as usual. But then also, like, you know, I was looking at it through some rose-colored glasses. It was a phenomenal game. It was not a perfect game, but for the very first time, like, a major platformer was taking place in 3D, I mean, God, they nailed it right out of the gate, and they only evolved it with each subsequent entry until, like, you get to Odyssey, and, like, I just don't know where you go from here. It's such perfect control.
Right? Like, when it comes to obviously improving graphics and story, whatever, but when it comes to the control and gameplay, like, what do you do with this?
Yeah, like,
it seems like already
how do you evolve this? I mean, I know for sure they will, but because Nintendo and they fucking do everything right from a gameplay perspective, anyways. But you just murdered that rabbit.
He was a chump, right?
Also, how are these not the Rayman rabbits? Is Raymond just cool with that, like, giving that one to Mario because Mario's more successful than he is?
Right. Ubisoft is just like, you know what? Just, yeah.
Hey, man, you remember your old buddy Ray when you get to the top, okay? Please, God, I gotta eat.
Mario's basically just co-opted that, like, with the Mario versus Rabbids as well.
Yeah, right. These are my enemies now. Raymond, I love you, but your games, they are no good. They just are not very good. You have some good ideas, but you do not have the charisma that Mario has. So I take your IP and I make it mine. Yes, sir.
No offense. The execution is just fucking terrible.
I mean, look at you. You don't have the fucking arms. What's that all about, huh? You're right, sir. I'm horrible. Oh, you're not horrible. You're bad. You're bad is not horrible. Luigi, you're horrible.
Wow.
Luigi's just sitting there, yes. Luigi, horrible. I don't know if it's like this on your end, but I'm seeing your whole Elgato menu.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, and I don't know why.
Yeah, just click on the screen and then drag your mouse up to, like, the top left corner.
Okay.
And it should go back to full.
It was, like, as soon as I started playing, before it would just go, there we go.
Yep.
That took its sweet time.
No, I think you just bumped your mouse. It's no big deal.
I did. But usually when you just start playing and you don't hit the mouse, it'll...
Like I said, we're not exactly using the Elgato in the way that I'm sure the Elgato people want us to use it. Though doesn't Corsair now own Elgato?
Wait, do they?
Yeah, I think Corsair acquired Elgato, which is great because Corsair is like my favorite PC peripherals. Hands down.
You've told me they're quality, and these headphones are freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a single product I regret purchasing from Corsair.
Yeah, and when it comes to, like, their mouses are pretty, well, all their stuff, their keyboards, mice, whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
I'm rocking keyboard, mouse, headset.
Oh, really? Okay.
Cooling unit. And then half of my RAM.
Their stuff isn't very expensive either. It's not like budget.
No.
But it's pretty good, and it's like half the price from some of the other stuff. Like if you do like a Razer,
Razer is like I'm probably gonna alienate half of our audience who's not watching us right now. But I'm gonna come out and say it. I think Razer is overpriced like schlock. The only time I've owned 2 Razer mouses before I discovered Corsair, and both of them broke down and like had weird issues within like a year of purchase.
Oh wow, okay.
Like the first time I was like, I just got a bad model, so I bought another one, and then it lasted a little bit longer, but then it started doing the same thing. Like left click would be like held down constantly, and
they'd get all sticky and stuff.
No, that's the thing though. It wasn't like tactile wise. It felt the same. Like it's not like I spilt Mountain Dew and Cheetos on it or something. You know? It just started doing that after a while. And then just like when it's out of the box, you know, it looks really sleek. But you know, you get sweaty gamer palms, and after a while, like the plastic starts to like wear and like kind of get splotch and everything. And again, not like I'm 100% like Corsair only, but for the Corsair products I've owned, they've maintained their integrity really well. Like they like if I just ran a cotton swab with some alcohol over them, they could pass for like out of the box new.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's oh, what are you doing? I want to get back in there.
I don't want to be a dinosaur. I think you can just walk into those as the it doesn't matter. Oh god, did he wake up?
Oh, he'll just
go back to where he needs to be.
Go back and sleep.
God, I'm so glad that we're finally doing this game. I held off because I knew, like, you're, out of the two of us, you are, like, Mr. Mario, so I wanted to give this one to you, but...
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate it, because I freaking love this game.
Me too, but, like, yeah, it is absolutely pure gaming bliss.
Alright. Oh, I can dash.
So we were talking about some stuff with, the PC for a little bit, so you're set up now, and you're looking at buying things like, you're expanding your RAM, maybe a new motherboard, you said?
Yes, definitely a new motherboard, and I want to get one of the 5000 series Ryzen processors.
Mm-hmm.
The cheapest one, but it's definitely still serviceable.
Oh yeah, Ryzen's really upped their game lately. Like to the point where, like, I'll probably... My first priority is a new video card, but, with my 8th generation i7, my graphics card will be bottlenecked a little bit. And so I want to... Nice. I'll want to consider a new processor. Probably not this year unless I, like, come across some found money. Nice. Well done. Oh damn. So close. But,
okay, we'll do it the legit way.
What was I just saying? Oh, but yeah, I'm kind of torn between whether I'm going to stick with Intel or go AMD for my next one.
See, the classic thinking has been... Well, first the classic thinking was AMD is pretty good and a lot cheaper, but they're not nearly as good as Intel.
Uh-huh.
And then it started evolving to, well, you know what? Intel's still better for gaming, but AMD's really getting up there, and they're cheaper. Now it's like AMD might... Or AMD's better for streaming, basically.
Yeah, they're kind of like neck and neck in a lot of ways.
Now they're saying AMD with the newest stuff is like, oh, it's better than at least the i9, Coffee Lake stuff, but Intel hasn't come out with their newest stuff yet.
No, not yet.
So we don't really know. AMD is getting more expensive.
Yes, they are.
They are starting down that path.
Well, sure. Because there's only 2 games in town,
Yeah, that's true.
So with AMD too, the other thing that's kind of making me stick towards them, I'm pretty sure that if I were to go with a modern AMD card, I could keep my motherboard. Whereas the newest Intel processors have a larger pin base, and I'm not sure that my 5-year-old my 5-year-old motherboard is compatible with them.
Gotcha.
Whereas AMD is still using the I think it's like 9x9 pins or something like that, like the grid system.
Processors.
Yeah, because like how the processors are there's pins on the bottom and you put them into your motherboard. I think the new Intels are a larger set of pins, and so they can't be inserted into certain motherboards. Which I'd be almost certain that mine is. The motherboard on mine is decent, but it is one of the areas where I curbed the cost a little bit.
Gotcha.
Like for 2016, I basically went all out on video card and processor for the time.
Which is like
motherboard, storage, things like that. I figured I could always upgrade those as I go along. And other than a little bit of extra storage, I have not.
I killed this guy.
That's the other thing too. I am looking at expanding my just internal memory. You can't kill him? Oh, there you go. No, I guess you can't kill.
I guess I gotta do this guy.
There we go.
There we go.
I love how everything that he puts the hat on also gets the mustache.
Right.
Like that's like the source of Mario's power.
Oh wait, I'm not gonna turn into the pole.
Turn into the pole. Oh my god, is this what the pole feels all the time? Oh, life is not worth a living. I'd rather be fucking Rayman. Rayman's just sitting there. Oh, God.
Mario, please. You don't have to be cruel.
Look, I'm gonna kill your arch nemesis right now. Please, Mario. When am I gonna see some of those royalties, Mario? When I fucking say so. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. You do you first, and then remember your old buddy Raymond. Sure, I remember. If I had even one criticism of this game, until you get to like the post-game content, it does tend to run a little bit on the easy side.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As is the case with most modern Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you go back, you know, even to Mario Sunshine, and you could get some pretty grueling like levels in that. But though not all of that was Nintendo trying to make it challenging, it was just even playing it in the All-Stars pack.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of thought that maybe we'd go back to that game on the All-Stars pack because I played it, and the controls are a lot better on the Pro Controller. But some of the level design in that game is just maddening. You know, it's like, what were they going for here? Because
it's interesting that a lot of the stages are so vertical because of what Flood can do.
Yeah.
And I think playing in the All-Star, I've gotten a little bit farther in Sunshine, and it's like, yeah, some of it is definitely like, okay, this is what's going on. Like this, some of it just isn't fun. You know,
I was gonna say,
where
you
it's
reach
like
a
you have
certain
to
point,
stop
like,
and do this, and
not really having a good time, which kind of sucks because it's a Mario game, and it's all about the good times with Mario.
There is some things like, again, going from 64 to that, it's just like, oh, having a smooth camera is just great. That improves.
I was gonna say that is a huge improvement over the GameCube one, even with like the C stick. Like the camera never quite felt supernatural to control that, but with the Pro Controller, where the right stick is just right there, where it's supposed to be, you know, it makes a big difference.
It really does. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things to like make it feel modern.
I gotta say too, it's amazing how well Mario Galaxy's controls translate to not a Wiimote.
Yeah, right? I think it's the biggest thing is the pointing, you know, if you're into that and like throwing star bits every once in a while.
I've been using the Wii, or not the Wii,
the Joy-Cons?
The Switch Joy-Cons, for that game.
Yes, that's amazing because that feels perfect. Just like a Wii remote.
And it lets you recenter it whenever you need to, just with the press of a button. If you get a little off center, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's great. So and that's really the way to play it, because I played with the Pro Controller and it's like, yeah, this is nice.
It works.
I'm so used to the Galaxy. Kind of depends on the pointing a lot.
It does.
Times, you know, when you do the pull stars, the blue things, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can't. I think with the Pro Controller, you'd like hit L or something to get the pointer out there. It's like, okay, this can work. And if you're playing in portable, I guess you have to, unless you set it up on a stand. And I guess that's the way to do it: set it up on a stand and still play. You know, Joy-Con imitating the Wiimote and Nunchuck.
Right.
Yeah, but Galaxy plays really, really well with that.
Yeah, which is kind of nice because I played Galaxy. I think I even beat it back on the Wii. But I don't think I ever completed it. I never gave it like its full due.
Oh yeah.
But I might actually go ahead and complete it now on the Switch.
Yeah, for sure, man. Getting all the stars is pretty fun in that one, and then you can play as Luigi.
Yeah.
But I think it's sad that they didn't include Galaxy 2. It's like,
I know,
okay, whatever.
Like I'm kind of pissed off about that because the only time I've ever played that was when I stayed at your apartment for a little bit in college, and you went to work, and I just sat on your couch in my underpants and played some Galaxy 2.
It's the lost levels of Galaxy is what it feels like.
Right, it was really
I think
fun.
They even said like, yeah, we had so many ideas for Galaxy that got cut, so we just made a sequel. And that I think that can also why the story elements are kind of
Miyamoto just took an axe to the story and just like, here, play around in this playground.
It's okay, exactly. It's like the gameplay is slightly better. It's actually slightly harder, which I like. Yeah, the enemies, like even the enemies that were in Galaxy 1, like in this game, are like, well, we're gonna fucking shoot stuff at you too now. Like,
right.
The controls. Oh no.
Do you know the controls? So what else were we trying to talk about before we started this up? Where I kept saying we'll hold off till the stream.
Let's see. Talking about computer. What the fuck else?
Oh yeah, you're the games that you picked up or that I got you for Christmas on the Steam sale. So right. Doom Eternal, obviously, you're gonna fucking love that. But we were talking a little bit about Persona 4. Excuse me, and that game is genius as Persona 5 was. It's kind of a joy to go to Persona 4 and see where all of like the groundwork was laid. I would say it's comparable to Persona 5 in every way except the dungeons. The dungeons run the gamut from okay to just ass. You know, because they're randomly generated corridors and there's always like a set number of them. Like they're not super engaging.
Yeah,
but fortunately, none of them are that I remember are over long. Like whereas in Persona 5, like the main gameplay element was get through these labyrinthine dungeons in a set amount of time.
Yeah,
and that's also true of Persona 4, but I don't know, like because they're so repetitive. I don't know. At a certain point, you just get in the groove of like, okay, just get off this floor. Like, there's no clever puzzles to solve or anything. It's just find the exit.
Yeah.
And you even start to recognize some of the floor plans and the layouts. It's kind of, yeah.
I think Persona 5, some of the dungeons maybe ran a little long. I mean, but they were original.
They were always throwing something new at you. Yeah.
Yeah, and reflecting like the heart of whoever you were in, like was really cool. All right, you were not really in them at all, but I guess the building that they kind of considered theirs in some way. I don't know.
Persona 4 sorta does that, but it's more like, okay, you're in a castle corridor. Now you're in a science lab corridor. Now, it's just that sort of thing. It's all just. I mean, it looks like a PS2 game. It's a series of.
And it was right.
Yeah.
Persona 4 Golden was PSP for a while, but yeah, the original was. Sometimes I forget. It's like, oh yeah, that was PS3. It's like no,
no PS2.
PS2,
and it's a good looking game for PS2. Yeah. But yeah, no, it definitely. It's definitely just like randomly generated corridors. But it's not the main focus of the gameplay the way it is in Persona 5. Like the unlocking people's hearts thing. Like that's like you have a lot of different options as far as combat goes, and I think in some ways like some of your interactions with the supporting cast can even be at times a little more complex than in Persona 5. Yeah, I mean, I can't give you a specific example, but I just felt like there were more options as far as ways to talk to your friends.
Well, Golden added, I feel like hearing what Golden
added a lot, yeah.
Like more than Royal, to Persona 5. Like it kind of made it more in line with what Persona 5 kind of was.
Yeah.
And the original Persona 4 was a lot more like when it came to the gameplay elements, like Persona 3.
Yeah.
There was a lot of quality of life stuff that they improved upon with Golden.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, like me, you'll probably still, prefer Persona 5 overall, but Persona 4 is absolutely excellent. And I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like on your PC, because I've only ever played it on the Vita. Which looks fine, but it's a small screen and it didn't have HD textures or anything like that. So I'd be curious to see what the Steam release looks like on your PC, because I know they did retexture the whole game. It is a full HD makeover. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I think you're gonna enjoy that. I don't know if it'll end up sucking you in for 150 hours, but it should be a good meaty JRPG.
How long is it as far as if you compare it to Persona 5?
Let me think. I think I beat the main story and did plenty of extras in about 70 hours. So about half. As weird as that sounds, about half of Persona 5.
Gotcha. Persona 5, I mean, some people say it ran too long. I don't necessarily agree with that, although maybe some of the palaces.
Yeah, like you said, the dungeons could run long, but
yeah.
Like I at the end of the game, like I still wanted more of like the character building and the stuff to do with your friends and things like that. Like that was just I was a total dweeb in high school, so like that was such a fun like game experience, like simulate like what it's like to be the cool underdog in school. And
yeah, even though it was like high school, it very much was like, I feel cool, man. Like this
yeah
this is awesome.
And you could really like, even though so it's not quite like say The Witcher 3 or Mass Effect, where the decisions you make have like an immediate, visible, tangible effect on the world around you, but you can definitely shape the main character's personality however you want it.
Yeah.
And your comrades do speak to you then accordingly, right? Like so if you've endeared yourself to them by being a good friend, they treat you like a close confidant. If you're kind of a roguish asshole, like they keep you at a distance but still trust you. And I mean, the whole point of the game, you don't have the freedom to be like, good or evil, right? Like you're gonna go through these things either way, but the relationships you have with your party are very flexible, which is kind of cool. Like even to the point where like you can disappoint them, which just feels horrible,
Yeah, I think it's like that'll be another game where I'll totally save scum it. It'll be like, okay, I don't want to mess anything up.
Like for instance, the female companions, and in that way, it's a little bit limited. I mean, like you can't play as a gay character, for instance. But when you get to the point, when you get to the point though that the female characters start flirting with you, if you're trying to be an honest guy as your personality, you're gonna have to shut them down, which feels horrible. Yeah.
Oh my God, what was
You've actually grown attached to the characters.
What's her name? The last character you get in Okomura's palace.
Haru?
Yeah. It's like, no matter what.
She's such a sweetheart, It's like, you don't want to disappoint her.
Everyone else just sees the bright side of it, and she's just crushed.
I know, isn't it horrible? I almost feel like she's like the canon romance in a weird way, which is kind of funny because you don't really get her to the last like 20% of the game.
Yeah, seriously.
I know the one that everybody loves is Futaba.
Oh yeah,
but I went with Makoto.
See, and that's Makoto's best girl. That's who I got to do next time.
Yeah, she's got the whole smart chick. That's clearly how I married. So you get a sense for my type here.
Short hair, smart chick. I mean, that was me growing up too. It's just like, I mean, we watched Sailor Moon. It was just like, it was all about Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Amy's the one that got away, man.
But
Sailor Mercury.
Much like my original high school experience, it's the first girl who is it on that shows any affection towards me. I'm just like, okay,
I will sacrifice my life for you.
Just like, I'm never gonna get this chance again. It's like, right. Oh, it turns out,
dude, high school was such a racket back in the day, wasn't it? I kind of feel like the high school that you see now. I mean, there's still a whole bunch of horrible shit, and I don't want to undermine what any teenagers today are going through, but I kind of feel like we grew up at like the tail end of like this
60s,
60s and 70s, like jocks versus nerds kind of culture,
Yeah.
And like, or at least my town was small enough where it was definitely that kind of dynamic.
Yeah, especially towns where like sports are a big thing and one of the only distractions.
Yeah. Like you were either in or you were out, and I was decidedly out.
High school wasn't totally like that for me. I would say middle school actually was the worst of it when it came to bullying and like all that
shit.
Yeah,
that's right, because you moved during middle school, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's right.
But high school was a little bit more accepting, and then college was definitely like, actually, what am I? Fuck this.
Yeah, why am I riding this platform like a fucking
okay.
chump?
That's why, because I need those things.
Come here, platform. I love you. Yeah, see, again, like, you can just make him go anywhere you want him to go.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
But yeah, so anyways, Persona 4 kind of captures that same thing. Like, you are like in a weird way, Persona 5 is almost a carbon copy of Persona 4 in terms of its setup. You're the new guy in town. You're being introduced to the school, and though the unique thing about Persona 5 was you're there like against your will, because you got dealt a raw deal. With Persona 4, it's just like you're just a cool guy staying with some friends of the family, basically.
Now, Persona 4 is the only Persona game that's like it's in the boonies, right? Most of the games take place in like Tokyo.
That's right. City. Yeah, it's not inner city. It is. I don't know the regions of Japan well enough to tell you where it is, but it is definitely not urban. What was the other point I was going to make about that, though? That being said, though, the setup in a weird way is actually darker than Persona 5 because it starts off so mundane. And like, this isn't even a spoiler because you'll see it in the first half hour of the game. But
as
like,
far as the murder?
What's that?
Murder or someone on a power line?
Yeah, yeah. Some corpses of like teenage girls start popping up across all the city, and it's like, shit, you know. And like, it looks kind of anime and like not visually striking.
Yeah.
But when you consider like what it actually is, and then like if you're just kind of like having the conversation with like the first friend you make there, and like, you know, in the background there is a dead body. It's like, oh shit, for a bunch of high schoolers, this is really fucked up. and then you kind and then that would get into spoiler territory. You get into the reason like why there's like some paranormal shit that is responsible for why this is happening, and that's where you get into the, you know, you've got to go into the alternate dimension to make it stop, sort of thing. But you know, for a PS2 game too, like the PS2, I always criticize as the games lacked atmosphere. This game had really good atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to play it, and like Golden is like, okay, I guess that's probably the way to experience it.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, like Persona 5 Royal, I'm a little worried. Like, the story was so good.
Yeah, you know, I don't intend on picking up Royal unless they release it for the Switch, because I'd love to have that game on the go. But
seriously, that would be a perfect game for the Switch.
I don't know why they haven't. Because fucking Joker's in Smash. Like, why can't Nintendo seal the deal here?
There must be. I'm sure it's some agreement that Sega has with Sony. Something about, okay, only the main line. You know how like Capcom back in the day, they had that freaking deal with Sony where it's just like, okay, we'll only release the numbered entries for Resident Evil on
Persona
PlayStation.
5 not on the Xbox?
No,
it's a Sony exclusive. No shit.
It's Sony exclusive for sure.
How the hell did Joker fucking get into Smash? I mean, I know the pseudo sequel,
like Strikers. That's on Switch.
Yeah, that's coming out for Switch. Okay.
Yeah.
Or is that already out?
No, it is in Japan. It came out in October in Japan.
Okay,
it's coming out February, I think.
That's like the one Dynasty Warriors type game that I would actually play.
Seriously. You know what, though? Have you played Hyrule Warriors?
No, I haven't. I've heard nothing but good things, but I could never get into the Dynasty Warriors formula. But just to see more of Persona 5's story, like...
Seriously.
Like, I just want to hang out with my friends again, you know?
It's the bona fide sequel. Like,
it is like, from what I've seen in the previews, like, you actually do get to interact with your party. It's not like just Persona window dressing. Like, it's an actual next part of the story that you experienced in Persona 5.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the Hyrule Warriors. Okay, what's going on here?
Fucking cat. Oh, you need to be the Chihuahua thing.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
Not the It's not a Chihuahua.
Whatever.
It's like a fucking lion, but you know what I mean.
All right, I know a lot of this stuff. I gotta like thaw out the ice first.
God, I fucking love this game so much.
And I love that they don't take you out because the worlds are so big.
No.
So it's that part of Mario 64 where it's Galaxy was like, here's a linear part of this world that we're going to create this set piece for you. Once you get the star at the end, we'll take you back and maybe there's another one with this theme of this stage. But this is just, here's the sandbox. Mario 64 style, only they're even bigger.
And I love how the way that like the real world elements just somehow magically mesh perfectly with the Mario elements. Like you saw the taxi cab and the Sphinx there, but it all looks like perfectly cohesive. You know, it's I don't know how, like, whoever was responsible for the art direction of this game deserves a serious raise, or at least a pat on the back or a blowjob or something. Because I mean, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll blow the art director for Mario Galaxy, but
this goes back to the beginning. I think there's easier, quicker ways to do that. So now let's go to the pyramid because I've been basically been like, okay, what can I do out here?
Yes, the Great Pyramids of Mexico. Oh wait, that's an actual thing, isn't it? But it's more Aztec.
Yeah, are there some?
Aztecs had pyramids.
Oh, hello.
Though here, with like the Sphinx and everything, I just figured desert, Mexico, Egypt. Why the fuck not?
Also, like Day of the Dead, these guys have sombreros. Like,
yeah.
That's what
man,
you're thinking.
I did. Last episode we filmed, I told you about fucking Coco, right?
Wait, hold on. What?
I watched it with Michael.
Oh, Coco. Yeah.
Coco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did tell me that, and that it was
emotionally devastating. Boy, Max just isn't you're just refusing to do this like the way the game intends. That's awesome. Because you can.
Why not?
Yeah, why the hell not?
Mario's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And they hide some of these moons really well.
They do.
Going back after they the end of the game when you have those moon rocks and it's just like, okay, I did everything there, but I'm still missing a bunch of moons. And it's like, oh, there's all this shit that I could have had from my first time around that I just never saw.
Right.
They hide some of these really well. It's very inventive. Whoops.
Yeah, dude, this has to be like the most replayable Mario.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And you know, just playing if your intent is to complete the game, I mean, you're looking at like a solid like 40 hours of Mario. That's like unheard of for a Mario game.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mario 64, you get all 120 stars, you're down like what, maybe 12 to 15 hours at most?
I'd say that, yeah, basically.
At most. Like, unless you know what you're doing, in which case maybe 4 or 5 hours.
And I know...
Clearly when I played, I had not played it in such a long time that I had forgotten most of it, but...
Oops.
I am the one to get shot. No, thank you, please.
So how are you liking Cyberpunk? And I'm not
dude,
trying to
I love it
because I know it's actually a good game. Like,
no, dude, it's not just a good game. It's phenomenal. It is like, so at least on PC, in my personal experience, the reports of the glitches are somewhat exaggerated. There's definitely a lot of them, but from like what I've played so far, I've only had like maybe 2 hard crashes in about 25 hours of play. For the most part, it has just been like minor cosmetic things, and just like, you know, some, you know, just kind of like weird pop-ins or stuff like that. The game itself is an absolute joy to play, and I am loving just getting totally sucked into the world and like creating my own character and
yeah,
you know, like I think about half the time that I've spent in the game so far is literally just like gawking at the city, just like exploring it and getting into the world. It is incredible.
How are you play? So your monitor, is it 2K or is it 1080p?
1080p.
Okay. And let's see, like, what are you playing on? High settings, ultra settings?
Yeah. So that was one of the things we were talking about. My GTX 1080, the little engine that could.
Yeah.
I'm able to run it at about between 50 and 60 FPS on high settings at 1080p. No ray tracing or anything like that, of course, but you know.
No, that's for
it looks beautiful.
That old, that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's clearly not the most well optimized game because you do get like a couple of big dips, but it's also CD Projekt Red, and I have no doubt that they will absolutely fix these issues.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. It's and I think they have to at this point, where it's just like like you guys, no matter how bad or overblown the issues are, the optics are terrible right now. Like,
what I'm reading about it makes me so sad.
Yeah, seriously, like
Sony taking it down from the store and everything, because I want nothing but success for CD Projekt Red. They are such a good developer.
Yeah, and they did so much with The Witcher. Like, their goodwill was not undeserved.
No,
but I also feel like not the developers, but the executives at CD Projekt Red, like, they cashed a huge check.
They did,
off that goodwill, and I think it was bigger than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, though part of me wonders if, like, at least part of the criticism leveled against it, given what I've experienced on the PC so far, is just like, they want to kind of spin this narrative that, CD Projekt Red was either overambitious or greedy or something like that. Like, they want, like, the developer that everybody loves to, take some knocks, I wouldn't be surprised if that was at least part of it. I'm not, like, shouting fake news, because clearly the game has some pretty serious glitches that need to be addressed, especially on consoles.
But the console, that's the biggest thing for me is, whoops.
Yeah. Well, and like, I was surprised that the PS5 version actually isn't out yet. You can play the PS4 version on PS5 with some upgrades. Yeah. But, like, the actual PS5 native 4K ray tracing version is not out yet. Which I didn't know. I thought it was all coming out at the same time.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think next year is when that's supposed to be coming out.
Oh, wow. Makes me even more glad, though, to have the PC version. Because, like I said, with the keyboard and mouse and being, like, inches away from my monitor, I just get more sucked in anyways, so... Yeah, I am absolutely loving it.
The optimal way to play it is on PC right now, for sure.
Yeah.
You're playing, with optimum settings, basically, or, the optimum way to play it, and I think when you're playing that way, it's a great game. It seems like some people are saying, like, oh, it really has no heart or anything, and
no, it sure as shit does. Oh my gosh!
From what I've seen, again, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen,
the story is super engaging.
For me, it's, again, I don't blame the developers for this at all, but I feel like with sending out the review codes just for PC and, like, only doing it a week out from release, like, they were, and their apology, is being like, oh, we didn't let you make an informed decision, we should have paid more attention. It's just like, no, you knew exactly what you're doing. Or I'm sure sounding the klaxon and being like, this is so underbaked for PS4 and Xbox base. Like,
I don't know if it's underbaked or if it's more just like, this game is simply too big to run on, 8-year-old hardware. I mean,
but that's what they were originally making it for. Like, it's not a next gen game. I mean, really, it is.
It evolved though. It by the time development was done, it was definitely a next gen game. I mean, like, when you go through the city, there is no doubt that, like, 10 years ago, this would have been technologically impossible.
Yeah.
And we forget that the PS4 really did come out in 2014 and was being developed during 12 and 13. So, I mean, it is 8 to 10-year-old hardware trying to run a, next generation title in 2020. So it's kind of like how they got The Witcher 3 to run on the Switch. It's nothing short of a miracle that it even works.
Some kind of sorcery there, yeah.
And another part of it too, is like people's hype and expectations for it were so overblown. Like, and part of that, playing it too, part of it I will say is actually warranted. Like, the city that you explore feels fucking alive. Like,
yeah.
Like you can just, like, follow pedestrians around, and, like, all of the pedestrians look different. Like, there's like similar templates, but there's no, like, clones,
Whoa.
Oh no! Into the cataclysm. Oh, Mario lives.
Mario lives.
It would have been better if I died. But no, like you can almost interpret like the city itself as being the main character of the game, and in that regard, they succeeded completely. Like Night City is the most unique, independent, and like free-moving video game environment I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like... Let me think. Okay, to give you like a frame of comparison, when you first enter the world, it feels like Shenmue felt back in 2000.
Oh, nice.
It has that same feeling of like, this is a true like world contained within my game system.
Yeah, and Shenmue was one of those next-gen moments.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh,
like,
okay,
how is this possible?
Now? Like, yeah, that was definitely like, holy crap! I can't believe.
And if you remember, there too, people criticized Shenmue because it could be kind of aimless and clunky, and that's true of Cyberpunk. But it for me personally, just like Shenmue, the boldness of the venture swallows up whatever technical or creedal shortcomings it had,
Yeah.
Oh no! Got it. Fucking Bullet Bill there wanted a piece. You showed him what was... I love how Mario can, like, take over the mind of a sentient creature and make it kill itself. Mario is a monster in this game.
Smile. See, I feel like Cappy is he's like a parasite. And
yeah, right. He makes he's like the one ring of power, He makes Mario like more horrible than he would be otherwise. He gives him like a little taste of power, and Mario can't go back. Oh, speaking of which, Sarah and I already exchanged Christmas presents since Christmas Day. We're going down to a nice hotel and letting the boys open their presents, and that's going to be kind of more about them.
Nice.
So we did like the kind of Christmas exchange early this week when we had a time to actually enjoy it. And I got the Lord of the Rings 4K movies.
Ooh.
And holy shit, do they look good.
So what do you have? You just have a 4K Blu-ray player?
No, I got the digital versions. I'm in the process of converting my entire movie library to digital because like I want physical copies for the game, but I'm not enough of a cinephile that like I really need the boxes there on my shelf. Like there's a couple like collector's editions like Godfather, things like that I'll keep, but for the most part I'm going all digital.
Yeah. Okay.
Because anymore, there's no reason not to. Like, streaming games is obviously not there yet. Whereas streaming movies is. Like, in fact, my 4K streaming services look better than, playing them on Blu-ray player.
All right, what's going on here?
Yeah, what are you supposed to... Oh, you've got to hit that thing, the red thing, and it'll explode it. Yeah.
Okay,
it sends out that ring. Oh, no.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me not kill myself.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't go down. Why are you going down?
Try throwing it and then curving it down.
Well, there's something if you stomp. Yeah, it's going down, but I think if you stomp and throw, it's a long throw, but it's he's kind of... Okay, maybe if I...
Come on, okay, man, please. Mario needs this. Just take the dive. You can get him. You can do it.
I got two of them.
You can get most of them. That one's not gonna matter.
Mario, please.
Mario wants to die. All right, Max, we're within the last 5 minutes of the episode. Get yourself one more power star.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Complete Mexico. Or Egypt. Where the fuck are we?
It's a mixture.
I mean, I'm sorry, I love Nintendo, but to them, it's all just sand land, It doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is all just people dwelling in hot, arid climates. It's all one culture.
They just didn't. Japan can be a little bit racist, and it's cute somehow. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say like the weird Mexican like stereotype characters they have here. I mean, part of me thinks pretty racist. On the other hand, it's fucking adorable.
Yeah. Hello. All right. Yeah, you're right. These destroy that stuff.
And they'll hit each other and ricochet. Yeah. That's what they do.
That's right.
That's what they do. And then they don't stop.
All right, there's something else here.
Oh,
isn't
Nintendo
there?
and your folksy racism.
Wait. Oh, that's right.
You already got that one. Mario waits for no platform. Though I guess you could have.
Yeah, that didn't make a difference at all.
Though you get in the zone with this game, you can fucking fly.
Seriously.
I mean, you clearly have the controls down, but there are some just crazy things you can do with this.
Ow!
I'm gonna die.
Okay. Someone give me. I don't need coins.
Oh, that'll restore your heart, though.
This will?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that. Whew. All right. Let's go in this big hole.
Yeah, let's find out what fresh hell awaits us down here. Cappy's like, Mario, no! You're supposed to preserve me, not kill me.
Mario's just very suicidal.
But yeah, this week I blitzed all 3 Lord of the Rings extended edition, like 4-hour movies.
Oh my god.
So
I've never seen the extended versions of those and sat all the way.
For real?
They're really long.
they really are, but they're so worth it. Like, remind me, did you ever read the, like, Tolkien books?
Oh no.
Really? Oh man,
No.
I did, and
I tried.
I'm a Lord of the Rings fanboy.
Yeah. That's true nerdism. I couldn't do it. It was kind of a slog for me when I tried to read the first one.
They can be like when you read them, even today. Like I'll skip over some of like the musical numbers.
Yeah.
Like Tolkien had this thing with those books where he just felt like, every chapter or so I just gotta pause and take time out and write an entire fucking song that one of the characters is going to sing. And truth be told, like, it fleshes out the world a little bit more, and it's like, wow, this is like a living, breathing culture Tolkien created. But it doesn't add a whole lot to the actual plot. You guys will wait right there. I'm not done with you yet.
Okay, that didn't end up going my way.
It's alright, there's a whole stack of Goombas there for you to possess. Got it.
Alright, let's see. I feel like there's another...
I think you gotta kill one. Nope, you're fine.
I thought there was a... Okay, yeah, you gotta be how tall
There
for
it
this
is.
one?
I think you can leap out of them, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, you need to be tall for the... What do you call it?
Oh, God. Well, that ship sailed. But, so going back to Lord of the Rings, I will say, like, I'm not one of those purists where, like, oh, no, you have to read the book, or you can't enjoy the movies properly. I would say, like, there's an argument to be made that the movies do something that the books don't do. Like, there's enough changes in there that it makes the story itself more accessible, and kind of like the Watchmen movie, like, it makes parts of the story more sensible or engaging.
Yeah.
Well, like, by streamlining it a little bit, and granted, we're still talking about 4-hour fucking movies, but by streamlining the narrative a little bit, it actually makes it more accessible. And kind of like with the ending of Watchmen, where Dr. Manhattan being the crux of the conflict actually made it make more sense than the weird, like, cyber alien thing.
It did. I like the cyber alien thing because the squid, because it's just so weird.
It is weird, but I am, like, completely neutral. Like, I have no feeling for the squid because Like, the squid was literally just like a Deus Ex Machina, whereas Dr. Manhattan, they spend the entire plot building up and they make you sympathetic towards his, like, loss of humanity. And so when it comes time for him to, like, you know, leave the world in order to, like, unite them around this, like, conspiracy theory narrative, he's willing to do it because he's like, I'm detached enough from humanity where I can see how this lie is actually going to serve them better than the truth.
Yeah, that's true. It worked for thinking of a different way to deliver that.
Yeah,
I think that was really well.
Whereas in the comic book, it's almost more of a depressing ending where he's just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you haven't watched the HBO series, have you?
No, I haven't. You've told me it's great. But,
So
like, in the comic book, I was always left wondering, like, why didn't he just fucking kill Ozzy? Whereas in the movie, I'm like, oh, definitely don't kill Ozzy, you know? And apparently, like, from what you've told me about the show, Ozzy comes back in a big way.
Yeah. Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, this boss can be a little bit annoying. Like, not hard, just annoying.
Yeah. A little bit annoying. Not too bad.
Big fucking hands in the way. Speaking of this exact same boss, we need to get back into Zelda now, finally. Beat some...
Oh,
I think Bongo Bongo is our next stop. Oops. Oh, shit. Oh, shit!
There we go. Alright. I got this.
You got this. You're gonna be fine. Also, you can stomp on that block and get an ice block and get a heart if you need it.
Really should.
Or you can make him stomp on it, rather.
Yeah, I don't know what. There we go.
Got
Give
it.
me that.
Little safety measure there. That was nice. I love the look of terror on its face as, like, Murder Mario is just coming at him. Oh, God. Oh, God. I am dealing with forces I can't possibly understand.
Cannot stop the Mario.
A mustachioed plumber.
Yes.
Though, did you read that weird Nintendo thing? Like, speaking of Shigeru Miyamoto's kind of, like, just quirkiness, did you read the thing where, like, after, like, 30 years of Mario, he recanonized it so that Mario is no longer a plumber? He is... His official job description is, like, man of interest or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like weird and Japanese sounding. Like, man of interest. What the fuck?
That was, like, right when this game came out, I think.
Yeah. Because, like, at this point, you don't actually see Mario fucking plumbing. Not that you ever really did, but, you know, he's not a fucking plumber. When's he... Can you picture Mario, like, saving the princess and beating a dragon, and then just going and, like, unclogging someone's shitter? You know?
I mean,
It's back to the grind for Mario.
This is the life I truly enjoy.
This is why I go on the adventure. For the shit. I love this shit.
Oh, shit. Well, I didn't figure this out until I beat the game.
Oh, yes. Music box. Oh, man. Literally, Mario's job for 30 years was shit handler. Hello, Mrs. Johnson. You are clogged up again. Yes, Mario. You are eating the beans again, huh? Yes, I can't stay away from the beans.
It just gives him such joy.
Yeah. All right, well, you will wait out there on your patio. Mario will tell you when I'm finished.
Oh, shit.
He just goes into his plunger and he's like 45 minutes. He's sweating and grunting over a fucking toilet, and it's just Mario. Oh god.
Hey, before we close out this episode,
yes,
we got to decide where we fucking going.
I think that's a problem for next time on Play the Hits, Chris and Max.
All right, sounds good to me.
we will see you then, man.
See you then, man.
I'm gonna go fix this shit.